Right, so just wait 3 more minutes for the others. So while waiting, so this is now your chance to ask a question. So anyone who has a question?
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, ask ko lang po, ngayon ko lang po napansin na may conflict po pala sa schedule ko. And pwede pa rin po bang mag-drop ng subject?
Sayang naman kung dadrop mo. Ganit na lang. Okay, so anong oras yung subject mo na yan?
Bukas po.
Hmm.
Thursday, Friday. 7:30 to 11:30 yung isang klase ko.
Well, in my case, it's okay. Okay, na meron kang klase ng Tuesday, Friday. Since all of our meetings are recorded and all of your activities will be given a 1 week, mostly 1 week of time to do it. So I guess pwede mo naman siyang gawin sa ibang time mo, maliban sa Tuesday, Friday, 7:30 to 11:30. And regarding with your quizzes, so Tuesday, Friday. So I'll just give it on Thursday. Okay? So para hindi ka magkaroon ng problema. So you're going to have your quiz number 1 and quiz number 2 on this coming Thursday. Okay. Kasi sayang naman pag idadrop mo pa.
Sige po. Thank you po, sir. Ay, paano po pala pag
Kapag?
Exam po. Examination.
So di ko pa kasi alam yung specific date kung kailan yung exam. Pero, okay, so hindi lang pala ikaw. So si Mr. Palaksa din. So I'll just set your exams maybe Monday, Thursday, not on Tuesday and Friday. Para mas okay sa inyo, para mas walang problema. Okay, so gagawa natin ng paraan yan.
Thank you po, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you po.
Since my subject is only super basic, super simple. So, hindi kayo babagsak dito. Okay. You guys are welcome. So, Mr. Palaksa and Miss Kabaot. Alright. So, any questions so far regarding with Firewall?
None, sir.
Okay. So since we don't have enough time anymore, like I was actually only planning to have 3 Zoom meetings, 40 minutes, 1 hour and 20 minutes a total. Okay. So I don't want to consume the entire 2 hours and 30 minutes or 3 hours of time. Okay. Since nakaka-boring yun. Okay. So mostly kasi yan, sa umpisa, makikinig ka pa, pero kapag kalagitnaan or patapos na, okay. So medyo iba na yung ginagawa. Okay, di na nagpe-pay attention. Okay. So I will not go through one by one information anymore, especially if that is self-explanatory. Okay. So I will just explain the other part wherein I think that is quite difficult to understand. All right. So are we clear with that one?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, it's like more on self-study. Okay, it's really self-study. Like 80%, you're going to read everything. Okay, and then you will understand everything on your own. Okay. So, all right. So let us now continue our discussion. So as I'm saying a while ago, a firewall will protect you from any connection, like it's via internet, via other transfer of data from other uh, computers. And again, as I am saying a while ago, we have two firewalls, the hardware firewall, which is coming from your router, and then we have here the software firewall. So you can turn on both of them for you to have a much more better protection from DOS attack or from any malicious transmission, right? And then we have the unauthorized access and use. So this one is self-explanatory. Unauthorized access is without you letting the person use your computer, and then unauthorized use is without you letting that person use your computer. Okay, so actually they are quite the same, but they have their own difference. Okay, so basically this is step one, wherein you're not really let someone to access your computer. But in here, you can let that someone use your computer, but only limited. So that is what unauthorized use. Okay, not full usage of your computer. And then we have here unauthorized access and use, or we have here the ways for you to avoid unauthorized access and use. So here's the number one tip. So do not turn on all of those. So do not share your documents, do not share your music, do not share your pictures, do not share your videos, etc., etc. Okay. So if possible, avoid call this one un unpermit, okay, or unnoticeable connection from the other computer, because we can actually access someone's computer without them knowing it, okay, just by clicking or just by turning on each one of these toggles, right? So access control is a strict measure that defines who can access your computer, device, or network, or when they can access it, or what actions they can take while accessing it. So in here, we actually have a lot of ways to do this one, especially in computer shops. So you're not allowed to open this one, you're not allowed to tweak the settings. So in that case, they are using a server-based application or a server base, and then it has a lot of clients. So in clients, they can actually limit the actions that they can do, and then they can also control when they can use it, okay, and then who can use it. Okay, and we also have here the audit trail, wherein it records in a file both successful and unsuccessful access attempts. So this is very important, okay, especially if that computer is for public use. Like, yeah, anyone can use it as long as they know the password and login name. But in some cases, of course, some unwanted people wants to open or to access that computer. So that is where audit trail comes in play, wherein, like for example, your documents was scanned at this specific time. So in that case, you will be able to know who are the people who log in at this time, or what are the things that he did, okay, when he opened or when he accessed your computer. Okay, so mostly this one will record the record the camera and then record the microphone at the same time. So we call that one audit trail. So it's a complete recordings of everything that happens to your computer. And then we have here the access control types, wherein again, of course, you're going to put the username, password, or even passphrase. So passphrase is, let's say, a one sentence, okay, or 5 words. Password is just 1 word, okay? And then we have here the CAPTCHA. So this is another way for you to gain access, or for you to be able to log in on that specific website or application. So CAPTCHA is completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. Okay, so this one is one way for the application or website to know if you are just a bot or if you're a real person. Okay, so we have the algorithms in here on why computers won't be able to soon call this. All right. Okay. So sorry for that. Anyway, so that is the CAPTCHA to tell computers and humans apart. So here's the example of CAPTCHA wherein our computers cannot crack this one. It doesn't have a way or he doesn't have an algorithm. Okay, because this one is random uh, way of typing or putting a word. Okay, wherein our computer will not be able to uh, solve that this one is really a letter K, this one is letter I, and then double L. Okay, so I don't know. That's how CAPTCHA works to ano ba? Paghiwalayin, okay? Or for us to be able to identify if that one is really a person or just a bot. Okay. And then we also have possessed objects wherein we're using our ATM to gain access to something, or we can use our badges, we can use our smart cards and keys. Okay, or just by simply putting the PIN or personal identification number. Okay, so you guys already know this one. Mostly when you say PIN, it's a numeric password, either assigned by a company or selected by a user. Okay, so we can also have biometric devices wherein it's via fingerprint, via you call this one via eye. I forget the term, but you know you'll scan your eye, or via what else? Via face unlock or face access, etc., etc. So as you guys can see, we have a lot of types, or we have a lot of ways to access a certain application or certain system. Okay. Okay. So here are the biometric devices that you can use to gain access. So number one is fingerprint reader, which we already have in our uh, cell phones. We have face recognition system, which we'll also already have in our computers and cell phones. And then we have hand geometry system, wherein it is just one. So this is quite rare, but this is also another way for you to be able to gain access. Or voice verification system, though this one is not that reliable, but yeah, this is another way for you to gain access. And then we also have signature verification system, which is also rare, but again, this is another another way for you to gain access on a certain system. And then lastly is the iris recognition system, which is kinda reliable, okay, since you know it will get the structure or the formation of your eye, etc., or whatever information that it can get. Okay, so yeah, kind of the same with your fingerprint. So here are the explanations about fingerprint, face recognition, hand geometry. So I will not explain those anymore because they are self-explanatory. Okay, or without you even reading the definition, you guys will be able to know that that one is hand geometry, face recognition, etc., etc. All right. And then we have here digital forensics. So we could say that they are a police, okay, policeman who's in charge in tracking a hacker, okay. So they are tracking a criminal in our cyber world, okay. So they are the ones going to do some discovery, collection, and analysis of evidence found on computers and networks. So here are the specific areas when it comes to digital forensics. So we have the law enforcement, criminal prosecutors, which is mostly what they are after to why they uh, became a digital forensics. We also have military intelligence, which is very ideal. Then we have insurance agencies, which is for the companies that conducts insurance. Then information security departments. Okay, so this one is quite common, especially if you have a big company. Okay, so you're going to hire a forensic, okay, or someone who's good in protecting the information of your company. Okay, and then software theft. So I will not explain this one anyone to you guys anymore, because this one is self-explanatory. Okay, so I just would like to emphasize this one. When you see software theft, it's not just stealing a software, but if you intentionally erases a programs, that is already under software theft. Okay, so you didn't just stole it, but you've also erased the data, or you've deleted the data or the information. Okay, so in that case, you now have a crime. You're now a software theft. So here are the things that you can and you cannot do. So mostly this one is a license agreement wherein every person will agree to this one before they can install an application. Okay, and I know that you guys and me also do not read, okay, or do not really read a license agreement. Okay, because this one is very long, and then what, etc., etc. You don't really care what's inside of it. Okay, but basically this will tell you what are things that you can do and you cannot do to their application. Like there are some applications like if you modify your application and then turns to be uh, a bad thing to their customer. So yeah, they can sue you for what you did. And of course, if they listed the things that you cannot do, they can also list here the things that you can do. Like for example, you can spread, like you can spread the application for free, okay, as long as you didn't change anything, okay? Or you didn't tweak the program of that or the code of that application, right? And then information tab. Okay, so you guys already know this one. Information are the informations, which is see very important. Okay, could be having a content of username, password, or bank account information, etc. Okay, so to avoid information tab, we have here the encryption. So what is this encryption? So this is actually a way or an algorithm, okay, or a process of converting data that is readable by humans into encoded characters to prevent unauthorized access. So even though they have your data, but it's encrypted, then they won't be able to read the data that is inside of that information. Okay, so this is actually a good thing. Okay, especially if you are saving a lot of uh, call this one important information to your computers. Okay, like for example, you're saving your password and email with the use of Notepad. Okay, and then you save it to your documents, and then someone gain access to your computer and then just accidentally open that Notepad, and then they now know your username and password. So that is one thing that you should avoid. Okay, so you can still do that one, but find a way to encrypt that data. Okay, so that even though they gain access to your computer or to your uh, storage, then they won't be able to read it as soon as possible, unless they know the encryption process that you have did, okay, or you've done to your file. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for encryption. So is there anyone here who've done encryption? Just wondering. May nag-encrypt na ba ng information sa computer nila? So you can decrypt this one. So if you have encryption, we also have decryption for you to be able to bring back it to its original form. So just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Gamit yung icons natin kung nagawa mo na itong encryption. And ano pa ba yung mga ibang one natin? Hindi ko makita. Anyway. So I'll count 5 seconds. So if no one, give me a thumbs up, then maybe wala pang nakapag-encrypt sa inyo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So para alam ko lang na nandiyan kayo, how about give me guys a thumbs up if you guys haven't did this one in your or once in your life. Alright. Okay, so may dalawa lang. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, that's good. Okay. So, sina-check ko lang kung nandiyan pa kayo. Anyway, so we have here some ways or algorithms for you to encrypt your information. So we have the plain text first. Of course, this is the unencrypted or the readable data. And then we have here the ciphertext, which is already encrypted, okay, which is not readable by humans anymore. And then, of course, for you to have a ciphertext, you must use a certain encryption algorithm or cipher algorithm, okay? So these are the set of steps that can convert readable plain text into unreadable ciphertext. Okay, so we have here the names of those algorithms. We have transposition. So transposition switch the order of the characters. So as you guys can see, we have here the plain text, and then here's now the ciphertext. Okay. So we have another one, which is substitution. So this one replaces characters with other characters. So this is the plain text, but then it changed the letter I to W, okay, and then N to L. So this one is consistently changed into another character. So information. So as you guys can see right here, we have letter I, 2 letter I's. So those 2 letter I's will become W. So we have W here and then another W here. And then your O became I, right? So that's substitution. And then we also have expansion, wherein not really that reliable, as will insert characters between existing characters. So from user, it will become you share, okay, because we have inserted Y between 2 characters, okay? And we also have compaction, wherein the opposite of expansion. Okay? So you will remove some of the character, okay? Or it says here every third letter is removed. Okay, so we have removed the T, the A, and then the O. So this is now the cipher text of this plain text. All right. So are we clear so far on some algorithms on how to encrypt a certain data? So guys, were you guys able to follow so far?
Yes, sir.
No question up to this point? All right. So again, if you guys have a question, feel free to ask me anytime. Okay, it's good that you guys are responsive. Okay, so next one here is the step-by-step on how to encrypt and decrypt a data. So we have the confidential data, okay? Let's say the content of that one is the new plant will be located at this coordinate. So this is important for maybe B and R, okay? And here's step 1, of course, it will, the sender creates a document to be emailed to the receiver, and then the sender uses the receiver's public key to encrypt a message. So this key is an application wherein he will encrypt the content of this document. And then it is, we now have the created or the encrypted document. And then the receiver, okay, of course, will use the same application to decrypt this data. Okay, and then it's now going back or will now come back to the readable information. So this one is helpful, especially if you're thinking that there is a middleman or the man in the middle. Okay, we call that one man in the middle, wherein your information will go through a certain network wherein someone is actually uh, intercepting or will receive the data, okay, before it will be sent to the original receiver. Okay. So this is a very good thing if you're doubting that the connection from this point to this point has someone, okay, or that man in the middle, okay. And then we have the Caesar cipher, which is another encryption algorithm. that replaces each computer in a plain text with a different letter by shifting the alphabet a certain number of positions. Okay, like the word computer, okay, will be shifted by one. Okay, your C will become D, your O will become P, your M will become N, your P will become Q, etc., etc. Okay, so just shifted by one position. Okay, so this one is now the word computer. So this one was named after Julius Caesar. So you might be wondering because it is believed he is used it in his private correspondence. Okay, so this one is not 100% fact because he said here that it is believed. Okay, no one's proved that this is the type of encryption that he is using to encrypt his private data or private correspondence. Okay, and then we have your information tab, okay, wherein we have your digital signature and then digital certificate. So for you to avoid getting an information tab, okay, so this is one thing that you need to check. Okay, so we have your digital signature, okay, wherein it is an encrypted code that a person, website, or organization attaches to an electronic message to verify the identity of the sender. Okay, so if that person won't be able to match the electronic message or verification, then yeah, he won't be able to get the data. Okay, so before receiving, he will sign, and then if the signature matches, then that's the time that he can get and open that data. Then we have another one, which is digital certificate. This one is under our website already. Okay, so this is the job of a website for them to verify each website, whether that one is really secured or not. Okay, so what is this digital certificate? Let me just show this one to you guys. So under this connect lab, okay, we have this certificate. Okay, so it says here that certificate is valid. Okay, so if this one is invalid, then maybe that website that you are trying to visit is containing malicious software or malicious file. Okay, so if it's valid, then the content of that website is safe. Right? Simple as that. And we also have another thing in here. Okay, so aside from the lock button, okay, we also have here the HTTPS. So if that website has the word HTTPS, so mostly that one is safe. Okay, it's like one way for us to verify whether that website is legitimate or no. If that website doesn't have HTTPS, okay, then that website is, you know, uh, like an open source. Like we can read everything that you're doing from that website. Okay, because HTTPS is like a conversion, okay, wherein everything is encrypted, and then the server or anyone won't be able to read your data because this one is encrypted. Okay, so hardware theft, you guys already know this one, and then hardware vandalism, which is the act of defacing or destroying digital equipment. So if you're destroying or if you destroyed something, that one is hardware vandalism, right? Or if you tweak or if you change something like the uh, inputs will go to output and then output will go to input, just by doing that one, that is already a defacing or hardware vandalism. Okay, and then here are the things that you need to do. Okay, so I'll leave the reading part to you guys, okay, to reduce the chances of getting stolen by important information. Okay, and then we have here backing up or the ultimate safeguard. So backup is a duplicate. Okay, you guys already know this one. When you say backup, so this is the copy of your important data. Okay, so backing up can be done physically to your computer or can be done via cloud storage, which is a little bit more uh, recommendable or recommended or reliable saving it to your the same computer, because once your computer is destroyed, then all of your backups are also gone. But if you save it, okay, via cloud, then even though your computer is destroyed or get virus, then the data that is in cloud storage is still safe. It is still in there. So you can just download it anytime for you to have your original copy. Okay. And then we have here the types or categories of backup, wherein I will leave the reading part to you guys. But they are actually quite straightforward just by reading this one. So when we say full backup is will back up everything. Differential backup will just back up some. Okay, some important. And then when we say incremental, as soon as you change something or if there is an update on that information, it will back it up right away. Then selective, so very obvious from the word itself, it will just back up a specific folder. Then continuous data protection. So this one, even though you're not changing anything, it's still backing up. Like it's a real-time backup. Okay, just by copying an image, creating a file, it will back it up right away. Okay, so this one is the most expensive type of backup. Okay, the most ideal one is selective and differential. So you can also do the full backup, but still expensive, okay, because it will back up everything. But for a specific time only, like it will back up once a day, twice a day, or thrice a day. Okay? And then here are the description of those backups, its advantages, and its own disadvantages. And wireless security, of course, you guys already know this one. So when the wireless security is with the use of Wi-Fi, okay, can access via signals, okay. So others connect the network through an unsecured wireless access point, wherein it is the WAP or combination router WAP. So when we say unsecured, it doesn't contain any password. So this is one thing that you guys must avoid, okay, especially if you guys are in public places. So if that data connection is for free and then doesn't have a password, then 80% that that Wi-Fi will gain access to your computer or to your cell phone. Okay, so it is very unlikely for you to connect to unsecured wireless access point. Okay, and then for the ethics and society, so this one is actually uh, self-explanatory or common sense actually. Okay, you guys already know what are the correct things. Okay, the good things, the bad things, the do's and the don't. Okay, when it comes to computer, right? So this is just your opinion, okay, your thoughts about this specific question, wherein you're going to fill this one up if it's ethical or unethical. So I'm not requiring you guys to do this one, but just your own opinion, just to check whether you have your correct reasonings to uh, a certain situation. All right, so we have here intellectual property. This one refers to unique and original works such as ideas, inventions, art, writings, processes, company and product names, and logos. So I'd say intellectual property, that one is the one that we have inside of the computer. Okay, so let's say you publish a book, okay, and then you're the one who created it, you're the one who's the author of it, then that one is already your property. Call that one intellectual property. And if someone stole it, okay, like they just get your ideas and then they've said that it is now their idea, then you can sue them. Okay, you can sue them for a crime called plagiarism, okay, or stealing, or call this one saying that it is their own property, but in reality, it's not really their own property. So in that case, you can sue them for that. Okay, so we have the intellectual property rights, wherein are the rights to which creators are entitled to their work. Okay, so if it's your own work, then you have the right to say that it is mine. You don't have the right to copy that one unless you have my permission. Okay, that's why in every movie, in every music, we have this copyright. Okay, so to avoid, getting piracy, etc., etc. Okay, so what is this, Mark Allen? So maybe someone's using his computer. I don't know. And then we have here digital rights management, wherein it is
Sorry,
wrapping
sir.
in.
Sorry, sir. Hindi
It's
ako yun,
okay.
sir.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is actually one way for the computers to monitor whether there is a illegal distribution of movies. Okay, so this is very common in Pirate Bay, uTorrent, and any other websites where we can download pirated movies, pirated musics, pirated games, etc., etc. Okay, though this one is not still perfect. Okay, there's still a lot of websites there that we can download cracked versions of this one. Okay, and codes of conduct. So I'll leave this one to you guys. This one is self-explanatory. It's just a specification whether becoming ethical or unethical, or allowed or not allowed. Okay, and then green computing is basically, you being as a good call this one cyber citizen. Okay, so if we have a good citizen, we also have a cyber. No. We have netizen. So that's the one that I wanted to say. We have citizen, right, for our society, but we also have netizen when it comes to the usage of computing. Okay, so green computing is of course conserve energy, reduce environmental waste, etc., etc. Information privacy refers to the right of individuals, companies to deny and restrict the collection and use of information about them. Okay, so again, this one's like the rules that you can do and cannot do when it comes to a certain collection of data, right? So here are the practices or on how to safeguard personal information. And another thing that you can apply to avoid getting your information leaked to the other people. And then we have here the cookie, wherein it is actually a small text file that a web server stores on your computer, or websites use cookies for a variety of reasons. So these are the things that they are saying, okay, that you can do once you've allowed the cookie, okay, for them to, allow for personalization, allow to store usernames and or passwords. It will allow them to assist you with online shopping. It will allow them to track how often users visit a site, to target advertisements, etc., etc. But in reality, mostly cookie is just their way for them to gain access to your documents, to your pictures, to your phone, to your laptop, etc., etc. So if I were you guys, do not allow cookie on your websites. All right. So that is one good advice coming from me. Unless you really trust that website, that website is really legitimate and it's really a good website. Okay, so you can allow them to use a cookie. All right. So again, we don't have enough time anymore. So I will leave the rest to you guys. So you guys have 7 slides to read. Okay. So anyway, they are self-explanatory already. So yeah, that's it for the module 3. Unless you guys want to have a part 4. Hello guys, wala na tayong time. Would you guys want to have a part 4?